What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to do a showcase on by far one of my favorite champions, and that's Leorius The Proud. As soon as I pulled him, he is by far a game-changing champion if you don't have that massive nuker. Alrighty, so he's pretty amazing. I'm going to go through my kit with him, how I have him built, and just do a little bit of a showcase of where I use him and how good he actually is. Alright, so to start, we're just going to break down his skills and what he actually does. Alright, so his A1 is a double hitter, so attacks enemies 2 times, 60% chance of placing a decreased defense on the champion for 2 turns. The damage increases by 20% if the target has less than 60 HP. Okay, and then you're adding up to 30% damage on top of that. So if they are low health, less than 60% low health, you're hitting them for 20% harder. When booked, that's an additional, that's up to 50% harder is how you're hitting this boss, or sorry, the champion that you're facing. So it could be a boss. It could be your minions through the waves. It could be PvP, whatever the case is. That's additional loaded damage if they are below 60% health. Pretty awesome. Now his multiplier, it's 1.65 times his attack. So he is an attack-based champion. His A2 is very unique in this case. So attacks all enemies 2 times. But it has this passive where if it's not on cooldown, so if you don't use the skill, you're pretty much immune to all controlling debuffs. So one thing is you just got to be mindful of when you're going to use this buff, this skill. Now it does hit hard 2 times your attack. So if you have 5,000 attack, this is hitting for 10k times 2. Right? So that is kind of how the multipliers are working. By far not the hardest hitting skill in his kit, but definitely a hard hitting skill. I tend to only use this when I have a block debuffs buff up. So if I have block debuffs up, I will use Rage of the Pride. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick to his awesome roar because, well, it's awesome. Attacks all enemies again 1 time. Has an 80% chance of putting True Fear for a turn. Before attacking, has that 80 booked up to 100% chance to place a weaken on them for 2 turns. And again, this is a 3.85 multiplier on the nuke times his attack. Okay, so and then of course his passive instantly becomes unkillable for 1 turn when receiving that fatal hit. So if he does get nuked to about to die, he will put out this unkillable and stay alive for 1 more turn. He also has this passive effect as well, so it's kind of a double passive where his damage increases by 1% for every percent loss. So that's up to 99% if he's down to no health with this unkillable. That's 99% more damage that you're doing on any of your skills. Sheer damage. And then of course he has a 24% all battle crit rate aura. If you're looking for that additional crit rate on your team and you want to stack more damage, put him in the lead, and you can get away with having 76% crit rate and stack more damage, more crit on top of that, and put him in the lead. You just lose out on that speed. So depends on where you need him, but those are his multipliers. He does hit like a truck. Comparable to a Trunda in that, how hard he actually hits. So masteries wise, this is how I have him set up. So I did go with Grim Resolve because his intent is to do more damage when low HP. So I'm going to increase his damage by 5% when he's below 50% health. I could go with Heart of Glory, but he's on a arena team that isn't the fastest. So because of that, I fully anticipate taking a hit before I get my turn, and therefore he's better lower. I also went with Ruthless Ambush, of course, because I want that first hit on every enemy with that AoE nuke. I'm doing 8% more damage on top of that, and then I went with Helm Smasher because I mainly use them in the arena. Okay, Kill Streak, if you're going to use them in dungeon content and other content, Kill Streak is actually great because he kills a lot of people. So you're stacking that damage up each round on top of that. And then, of course, Methodical, like all the other damage that we can go. If you don't want to go with Ruthless Ambush or Single Out, which is more damage if they're low HP, definitely can go with Life Drinker. It'll help, especially when you're low HP and all that damage that you're going to dish out because you're low HP. He'll get all his HP back by hitting. And then I decided to go with Support Tree just for the added accuracy and the added damage and speed. I didn't necessarily need Sniper. I could have gone with Master Hexer to extend that weekend, but it worked for me. Skill-wise, artifact-wise, I definitely recommend going Savage. I just went with this crit rate set. I could have gone crit damage, but the crit rate set gave me that extra little bit of crit rate that I needed in order to get to 100%. Otherwise, I'd be just shy of 100, and 99, 98. I didn't want. So there you have it. That's why I went with the crit rate set for that added 12%. I do have an accuracy banner on him. Good speed, good attack. Just so that he can get enough accuracy to land his skills, because when you're fighting in an arena, a lot of high resistance builds, so that's just something to keep in mind. And of course, crit damage and attack on the ring where you can find it. All right, so total stats on Leorius: 4,200, 43,000 HP, 4,500 attack, 2,200 defense, about 200 speed, 230 crit damage, and that 235 accuracy. So could be better. Ironically, I threw him in the Hell Hades optimizer, and I have not found a better build for him at this point with the gear that I have in Savage. So at this point, I'm kind of stuck with what I've got until I can farm better gear and bump that up a little bit. So those are his skills. Those are his masteries. He does really do that extra damage when booked, right? You do want that booked to be 100% to land that weekend, and then the extra 20% damage. Here we're looking at 30% more damage. Here we're looking at 30% more damage on top of just using the skill. Alrighty, so where do I use Leorius? So he is actually my campaign farmer. He does do enough damage that I can actually farm 12-6 Nightmare with these champions. So he will start with his nuke, depending on how fast if these guys are geared, but he'll go twice, use double nuke. Then he'll use his A1, recycle, uses A1 again, kill someone, and then his nuke will be up. Now everyone's dead, so he is doing more damage because they're all dead. As he gets lower HP, he actually dishes out more damage. But a quick 20-second run, my quickest has been 16 seconds. When these guys don't go, I actually get a lot quicker. But this run was 25 seconds. I'll take it. You're looking at 10 to 15 seconds for a brutal run, anyways. Multiply it by 2. Now you're looking at anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds anyways for double the run. You're only getting 17,000 experience. I'm getting the extra 2k per champion by doing this. So it's more efficient and better experience for the energy used. So this is where I use him the most, or where I use him. I don't change with his speed at 198. He's good there. Faction Wars, he is a beast in Faction Wars. He was the reason why I was able to complete Skinwalkers. I was struggling hard. As soon as I pulled him and got him ready, done. Doom Tower content. So in normal mode, let's go down to the bottom. Laugh at this. But he was my champion that I used for that content. I only put Herndig in there because I was bored. But I think all the way up to level maybe 50 or 60 did I end up using him in Herndig. And this is why I have Herndig in the mix, just because he comes in with that third AoE and then I don't have to single twice. But, you know, he is my farmer. On some of the harder levels on hard, I actually put him in there because I do need that damage. I use him to farm Magma Dragons. So in Magma, I'm basically looking at that the poisons plus the decrease damage that we take from the boss. Some buffs, some cleansing, some more poisons, poison sensitivity, added heals, and then Leorius is basically doing a ton of damage. So I'm going to do a run here just to kind of showcase you. I'm going to slow it down a bit. We'll buff up. I don't need to. Leorius will come in here, pretty much wipe a wave. It is hard mode, so it does take some time. A1 cycle, get everyone's skills back up. Get that back. Get the increased attack up. Now I'm going to use this other skill. Pretty much wipe all the waves out. And now we're at the boss. So we're just going to put out the poisons and the decreased damage, which didn't land. So there, I mean, there you have it. You know, Doom Priest is there just to cleanse everything. Sifi's there just to buff, and then he's just constantly doing the damage, and Narma's there to help out with some heals. So there you have it. I'll end the run there, but you get the idea. Dungeon content, Fire Knight I don't use him at all for. He's only a double hit A1. He may help with wave clears. But there's other champions that help me kill Fire Knight better with multiple hitting A1. Dragon's Lair, I don't have him in here because I go with the double poison. So Spider, of course, we don't use. Ice Skull, no. So again, I went with a poison build. There you have it. Dungeon content, not so much. He is on my Minotaur team. So I basically use these two on the team. Could I get away with just Leorius? Yes, but I just make it a little bit faster with Shalette on the team. He'll give the added 35% attack, so Leorius does hit a little harder. And that's really the twosome that I use, and then I'll put my third champ in there to farm scrolls. Dungeon-wise, he doesn't really get used. He really shines here in Arena, though. So we got the increased attack. And then we'll put up that nuke. I mean, obviously he wasn't geared. Bad example. When I have these easy fights, usually at reset, I'll throw in a Leorius because he'll just go in there and destroy. Now, remember, he's a double hitting A1 champion, and he does additional damage on that A1 if they're below 60%. So if his first smack takes off 40% of their health, his second smack is doing a ton more damage. So he does scale. So we'll just throw in a team like this. This is my 3v3 team that I have in mind. This is my faster of my two teams, so a little bit slower of a team. If they're running an Arbiter, 300 plus speed, 30 plus speed, will outspeed this team, then I'm going to be taking a hit right across. Lyssandra's decently fast, but not Arbiter fast or Sifi fast. Duchess is in there just to reduce some of the damage taken. Vogoth is in there just to try and heal everyone to keep the whole team alive if possible. And then, of course, if anyone dies, Leorius will stay alive with his passive, unkillable, and then everyone's dead. He's got low HP. He'll turn around and pretty much one-shot nuke the team. On a team like this, I most likely would use a Roto setup anyways. I know this is a weak team, but just to show you his AoE damage. Alrighty, so my Sifi is actually faster than Arbiter, and that's so that I can put up the block buffs first. So any Torment teams, that comes in handy. And then here we go, one shot. Oop. One shot dead, so 150,000 damage. All right, so let's try this fight. So this is going to be actually a trickier one. Cardiel will actually be the ally attacker. We're going to have a double nuke here, which is going to hit us quite hard, is my guess. And then, of course, if you try to buff, Valkyrie is going to be there. Valkyrie is going to be there and decrease our turn meters. So if I am faster, we're going to have a turn meter drop, not a way to strip. So what we'll do is we'll probably go with a team like this. So see if he's going to put out multiple buffs and try to encourage Valkyrie to put out the buffs. And then my Ceres will come in and strip them all, which will render her useless. And then we'll go in and kind of finish it off. We know we might get taken a double hit here. So this is why we're going to go with a team like this. Let's see what happens. So let's go buffs up. Yep, as expected. Now we're probably going to get an ally attack. No. Well, that's okay. We're going to strip it all. They do have the revives up. So let's just kill them all. Now Vogoth is coming in to get that provoke out. Drop her again and fight's over. So a little trickier just because Cardiel did not open with the ally attack. Although if he did, it would have been a different story. You know, a team like this, what are they really going to do? Arbiter's going to go quick. She's going to try and stun, provoke, and then strip all our buffs. So, you know, we have to kind of be prepared for something like that. Now, on a team like this, I would just go with my standard team. I'm worried about these two ally attacks when I have no buffs. So that's where Vogoth is going to come in just to help me out. Let's see, so I'm actually faster, which should mean killed a lot of them. Of course, we put that True Fear up as well. Vogoth does come in, get the provokes out, which renders them useless as well, and then we just finish them off. These are also those were also defense-based champions. So some of these teams, I would still take a team like this in, just to kind of showcase some damage. Remember, I don't have decreased attack coming into a fight like this. He's low health. He's got no increased attack. Let's see what I can do. Still decent damage. And then we finish him off. So I got a little luck because True Fear landed and True Fear prevented them from using some of their skills, especially that Skull Crown when I didn't have my Unkillable up. But there you have it. I mean, they hit pretty darn hard, and Vogoth healed pretty much all that damage right back up. So that's why I have a Vogoth in a team like this. But Leorius is the one that just puts out all that damage. Now, because my Ceres is actually faster than their speed, their whole team, and that's one of the actual advantages of having a slower team, is that I'm going to drop the remove all buffs and decrease defense. However, if they interrupt my Leorius, they're going to put all their buffs up. So instead, They also don't have buffs to remove except for Arbiter. So I would actually use this because it's an AoE. Try to clear it. I didn't clear it. They still don't have the block up, so I'm going to get the nuke out. We'll try and control. Try and strip, which we did. Again, there's no need to clear buffs yet. So sometimes it's just being strategic, and then this should have finished him off. So there you go. Sometimes you can't just let it go, but again, you know, Leorius is destroying and damage. There you have it. Hopefully, I mean, I was super proud when I pulled Leorius. No pun intended. Actually, there was a pun intended. But he is by far one of my favorite champs. He's super cool. It's always fun where you pop an A2 or you pop an A3 and you watch everyone die and you move on. And you don't need a seer to do that. It's just pretty awesome how hard he hits. He is a viable AoE champ. You do need Savage on him if you're going to use him in Arena. High crit, damage, high attack, some decent defense and HP just so that he can stay alive longer. But again, the more percentage he's lost, the more damage he's doing. So keep that in mind. You do want him lower, but you don't want him too low and too slow. You do need him fast enough. So there you have it. There's the video. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.